Let us talk about layers of a tree trunk. Here you can see the trunk of the tree. The upper portion is called wood. This last two portion is called bark. The outer portion is called cork. It contains old non-functioning phloem that protects the tree. The inner portion of this side is called cork cambium. It produces protective layer of cork. This brown portion is called phloem, which transports sugars, which is produced by photosynthesis process. And here the vascular cambium is represented. It is produced as new xylem and phloem, which increase the width of the stem. This broad portion is called xylem sapwood. It contains the active xylem that transports water and minerals to the stems. And the center portion is called the heart of the wood. It contains the old non-functioning xylem that helps support the tree. Let us talk about leaf, which act as autotrophic. The functions of leaves are: it carries and photosynthesis, it stores the food, and it regulates transpiration through stomata. You can see the photosynthesis process over here. During photosynthesis process, the sunlight is absorbed by the leaves, and also the carbon dioxide, water are taken by the leaves, and finally the glucose is released. Simply, the photosynthesis is given as water plus light, which is equal to chemical energy. Now we are going to see about internal structure of a leaf. You can see the leaf here. The side lines are called veins. The internal structure is depicted over here. This portion is called spongy mesophyll, and this both ends are called guard cells. The gaps is represented by stoma, and this ends are called epiderms. Here the xylem and phloem is presented here. Cuticle. The purpose of cuticle is storage of water. Let us discuss about sugar transport in phloem. The sugars transport occur in phloem. In phloem, it is in pressure flow hypothesis. You can see the sugar transportation in phloem. Now we are going to discuss about water conservation. Water conservation is carried out by two processes, that is cuticle and another one is stomata. Cuticle is a waxy outer coating that prevents water loss. You can see it over here. This outer portion is called cuticle, which prevents the water loss. And stomata opening space for gas exchange. The open is used for release water and close is used for conserve. Now we are going to see about stomata in detail. The guard cell, which regulates the size of the stomata, you can see it over here. The K+, that is potassium ions, enters the cell, which causes them to fill with water. This opens the stoma when they become turgid. A loss of potassium ions causes the opposite to occur, and they close when they become flaccid. You can see the dotted portions are all called potassium ions. This outer surface is called turgid of guard cell, and this white space is called vacuole filled with water, and this gap is also known as stoma open. Now we are going to see even more about stomata. This upper portion is called guard cell, that is swollen or turgid. This gap is called stoma open. It is called stoma closed. You can see the differences. Now we are going to see about water transport. Water transport is nothing but, it is defined by three terms, that is root pressure, capillary action and transpirational pull. In capillary action, it is defined by both terms, that is adhesion and cohesion. In addition, the attraction between unlike, whereas the cohesion, the attraction between like. You can see it here. And transpiration pull is nothing but it pulling the water up through the vascular tissue due to evaporation of capillary action. You can see the adhesion and cohesion over here. Let us see about the transpiration and photosynthesis. And now we are going to take a leaf. In it have the vertical section through leaf midrib. Inside of the leaf midrib, it has a vertical section through the leaf cell, and this is the actual section. It contains the upper epidermis, palisade, mesophyte, xylem, phloem and spongy mesophyte and lower epidermis, and also it has a guard cell stoma, that is, it is closed. The water, carbon dioxide, oxygen is represented over here, and these three things is travel along the vertical section through the leaf cell. You can see here. And now let's see about the vertical section through part of the palisade cell, that is in the dark section. You can see here. And here the respiration process only carried out. The water, sugars, carbon dioxide and oxygen, which is represented here, and these four things which they are travel through the vertical section. You can see here. And now let's see about the vertical section through leaf cell in light. You can see the parts of the vertical section. Here the xylem, and this is the phloem. Here the stoma, which will open up, and the water, carbon dioxide, oxygen is getting travel to the vertical section in the leaf cell. You can see here. The width of the stoma is 0.1 mm, that is millimeter. You can see how the water, carbon dioxide, oxygen is travel along the leaf cell. Let us see about reproductive strategies. Here we are going to see the seeds. It contains embryo and it contains food supply. The seeds fully covered by a protective coat. You can see it over here. And the second portion is spores. It's a single haploid cell with a hard outer cell. You can see the outer cells are always hard. Now we are going to see about vascula. Vascula, the plant that has tubes to carry water up and food down to the plant. For example, roses, American dogwood tree, grasses are depicted over here. These are all the example for vascula. Now we are going to see about photosynthesis. The plant cells which produces their own food through a process is called photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, it allows the plant to convert light energy into the food energy. You can see it over here. The solar energy is absorbed by leaves. Here the leaves act as neutral solar panels and absorbing the solar energy and transforming it to the chemical energy. You can see it over here. And finally, the glucose is formed. Now we are going to see about the parts of a flower. The stamen consists of two parts. That is, the filament holds the anther. You can see the anther. The anther produces, it carries a pollen. Here you can see the female pod and male pod. Female pod contains stigma, style, ovary and ovule. Ovary, inside of the ovary, the ovule is presented, and male pod contains anther and filament, which is represented over here. Now let's see even more about the parts of flower. Here the pistil consists of 3 parts, that is stigma, style and ovary. You can see it here. The stigma is the sticky point that traps and holds the pollen. The style is the tube, it like a structure that holds up the stigma. The ovary and the ovule are at the bottom of the style. You can see it here. This is the ovary. Inside ovule is presented. This pink color, this is called petals. This is called sepal. The green color is sepal. This root is called pedicel. The petal attracts pollinators, that is bees, hummingbirds and butterflies. You can see it here. For example, the sepals are the green petal like parts at the base of the flower. You can see here, this is called sepal. It attracts the flower. Sepals help protect the developing bud. You can see it here. This is a bud which is protected by sepal.
Let us see about the pollination. Pollination has 2 types, and the plant has 2 pods, that is female pods and male pods. Pistil and stamen is the female and male pods. You can see how the pollination is carried out in the plant. In this plant, the pollination is a self-pollination, that is, the pollination is carried out by itself. You can see these are the gametes which is getting into the ovary. You can see ovary below the plant, and this portion is called stigma. Inside the ovary, the ovule is present. So finally the gametes fell into the land and it became the plants. You can see here. Now we are going to see about anemophily. Anemophily is nothing but the pollination is taken by air. You can see here. Here the gametes are spread into the air. And this is endomophily. Endomophily is nothing but the pollination is carried between the 2 plants through the or in terms of bees. You can see here the gametes go through the stigma into the ovary. Inside the ovary, the ovule is present, and in the ovule, the mitosis process is carried out so that the gametes is fall on the land and it became a growing plant. You can see how the pollination process are. The pollination is taken over by plant or air or insects.
Now we are going to see about plant cell. Plant cell consists of chloroplasts, nucleus, it is represented over here, and cytoplasm, cell wall, cell membrane. Inside the cell wall, the cell membrane is represented. Here the vacuoles. We will see about the animal and plant cells. Now, first of all, we are going to see the animal cell. Here, the structure of animal cell is represented here. You can see that the center of cell is nothing but the nucleus. You can see here the center of cell is nucleus, which is represented over here. Nucleus is nothing but it is the main part of any cells, and the another part is cell membrane. this is the outer surface of this animal cell. You can see that. And the third part is cytoplasm. So the animal cell consists of three parts, that is nucleus, cell membrane, cytoplasm. In animal cell, each and every cell associated with and together carry out the single and specific task. Whereas the plant cell, the structure of plant cell is given here. It has also the nucleus, cell membrane and cytoplasm. But in plant cell, which is different from animal cell, that is, it contains another outer surface that is called cell wall. You can see here, this is a cell wall, whereas the animal cell does not contain the cell wall. And the most important one is, it contains the main part, that is the vacuole. And this portion is called, that is the dotted portion is called chloroplast. You can see here. This is the difference between animal and plant cells. Thank you for watching from GTech.